Hello and welcome to tonight's playoff matchup between Benilde-St. Margaret's Red Knights and the Mound Westonka Girls White Hawks. My name is Joe Spertoli alongside my co-host Casey Hansen. You're watching ParkTV. This is a Section 6-3A quarterfinals matchup, the first round of the playoffs between these two teams. Benilde-St. Margaret's is the number 2 seed, while Mound Westonka is the number 7 seed. Casey, what are you expecting to see in this game tonight?
Well, being that that's the playoffs, I'm expecting to see a good game here tonight. I'm predicting that the Red Knights are going to be a strong contender tonight to win this game, just based on the leadership of this team. We have several seniors on this team that have been playing together since their freshman year, and they just know each other so well. They're able to set up shots with each other so well. This Mound Westonka team, they're pretty young. Looking at the roster, they have some 8th graders listed on the roster, some freshmen, a couple sophomores. So I'm just thinking that with the Red Knights, with their experience tonight, they are going to pull out of here with a win.
And whichever team wins tonight will move on to play again on Saturday, March 7th. The winner will play the winner between Minneapolis-Washburn and Holy Family. Also going on tonight is Waconia, the number 1 seed, versus the Blake School, the number 8 seed. Also matching up against Holy Angels is Richfield, the 4 versus 5. And we are less than a minute away from starting. We're going to have the national anthem coming on in a second, which for that we will take a quick break, and then we will come back for the starting lineups and the start of this basketball game. Benilde-St. Margaret's comes in tonight with a 16-10 record. Mound Westonka comes in with a 5-20 record. So we will quickly throw it to a break, and we will be right back.
Engine.
Check.
Thrusters.
Check.
Fuel.
Check.
Computers.
Check.
Social Security.
No check, go direct.
That's right, Patty. A few weeks ago, I went online to godirect.org to sign up for direct deposit. It's easy to do, and I got my cash at warp speed.
Wow, it's fast and easy. I'll sign up right now to make sure I'm prepared for our next mission.
Welcome back to the Haven Center at Benilde-St. Margaret's. You're watching ParkTV. We are just about to go through the starting lineups for each team. Tonight, the Red Knights will be wearing the home red uniforms. Mound Westonka will be in the white jerseys.
For Mound Westonka at guard, number 10, Ryan Byer.
Playing guard for the Red Knights, number 21, Allie Coughlin.
At guard, number 20, Jennifer Schabel.
Starting at guard for the Red Knights, a senior guard, number 25, Gretchen Sattler.
Starting at guard for the Hawks, number 25, Corey Anderson.
Playing guard, number 30 for the Red Knights, Sydney Lebo, another senior.
And for the Hawks, number 34 at center, Haley Martin.
Number 31, a senior forward for the Red Knights, Azaria Jackson-Sherrod.
And for the Hawks, number 42, sophomore forward Claire White.
And the final starter for the Red Knights, number 33, a forward, Abby Wilger. She's a junior. And the head coach for the Red Knights is Bob Lyons. Assistant coaches Bart Integer, Tracy McDougall.
And for the Hawks, we have head coach Ray Finley, assistant coaches Eddie Cooch, Jel S., and Michael Cade.
Again, you can look here on the bracket. This is the start of the postseason, first round. Benilde-St. Margaret's playing all the way at the bottom there against Mounds Westonka. That's the game we're calling right now. Winner will play Saturday against the winner of Washburn and Holy Family. Again, looking at these two teams, if you go off record, Benilde-St. Margaret's clearly has the advantage with a 16-10 record. Mound Westonka only 5-20. But in the playoffs, both teams have been planning, game planning, and trying to come up with new strategies to try to affect the other team. One thing Benilde-St. Margaret's talked about was trying to pressure the White Hawks to make them uncomfortable, see if they can get them out of sync early and often.
Yeah, absolutely. On the floor here tonight, we do have some younger players for the Hawks, and with the Red Knights' experience on the court, they should take advantage of pushing the ball and working a fast pace, get them uncomfortable, out of their rhythm, and out of their sync here.
And we're just about to tip it off right now, and we're underway. Mound Westonka controls the opening tip, looking to get something started right away. Benilde-St. Margaret's playing a man-to-man defense to get things started. The Whitehawks do have some good size down low. Number 34, Haley Martin, is 6 feet tall. She's a senior. She's been here before. She's got some great-looking shoes on as well.
Those shoes are sparkly.
Mound Westonka, this opening possession, moving the ball around, 3 on the way, short, rebounded by Gretchen Sattler. They were patient, they took their time, and got a good open look, just unable to finish that one.
Yeah, one thing I noticed there, as soon as the shot was off, none of the Hawks were down looking for a rebound. They were already going towards the other end of the court.
You can tell they've been taught then with this Red Knight team, not allowing them to get something going transitionally and giving up easy baskets. You know, we've done a few games already this season with these girl Red Knight players, and one thing that seems to be a reoccurring thing is that they share the ball so well. There's a lot of girls on this team that can score the basketball, and then when you have a point guard like Allie Coughlin that just shares it amazingly with her teammates and sets her teammates up, it's fun basketball to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said before, these girls have been playing together for so long. I'd asked the girls earlier this season, you know, what kind of sets them apart from other teams, and that was one of their talking points was they've been playing together for so long. They know where they're going to be. They know how to set each other up for shots. Allie Coughlin does a great job setting up her teammates. Always looking up the court. When you see her dribbling down the court, she's looking, trying to find that open player. Would be nice to see her get on a little scoring frenzy here tonight.
Yeah, that'd be a nice change of pace and be cool to see. So the Mound Westonka girls strike first. They get a free throw from Claire White to make it 1-0 right off the bat. We're seeing now the Red Knights are going to be inbounding on the baseline, kicks it out to Allie Coughlin, up ahead to Sydney. She takes a quick shuffle step, and they call her for the travel. She's a little frustrated. We saw that as an issue the last game we were at. She's trying to take off, and she just moves that pivot foot a split second before she gets the dribble down. And now a turnover, actually controlled by the Whitehawks. Now they pass down to the baseline. Claire White driving, gets into some trouble. A lot of tall girls down there. Abby Wilgers comes over for the help. Closing her off, not allowing her to get all the way to the basket.
Yeah, this team does a great job defensively. Just doing a couple games here that we've had, we've noticed that they get scrappy. They're not afraid to get scrappy. They're not afraid to get in there and really pressure the basketball.
Abby Wilgers makes a 2 on the transition, and that's what the Red Knights do best. Anytime they get a steal, they run the floor extremely quickly. They get great vision from their players trying to set each other up, and they get easy points. In that case, Abby Wilgers making the hustle play, getting down the floor, offensive rebound after Coughlin misses right here, follows it up, and gets an easy 2. This is what the Red Knights do, and if they can continue to do this, we just saw another turnover by the Whitehawks. If they continue this could be a long night for Mound Westonka. Great pass inside to Sydney Liebel. Her shot attempt comes up short, and the ball is tipped around by the Red Knights, recovered by Sydney, and she scores it for 2.
Abby Wilgers doing a great job getting in there, trying to get that offensive rebound, able to kind of scrap for the ball, and the Red Knights came up with that ball. And Sydney Liebel was able to finish with 2 points there.
Yeah, Abby Wilgers may not be the leading scorer most nights, but they would have a lot more losses without a player like her. Again, perfect example right here. Comes down with the rebound. She's willing to do the dirty work. She gets physical. She sticks her nose in there and makes plays happen. And this one gets a tip of the ball. Sydney able to control it right by the basket and score it to put the Red Knights up early, and now they have possession, a chance to extend their lead. Azaria Jackson-Sherrod, number 31. She has such a great mid-range jumper. She looks to set up, and if she gets any open look, she's going to knock it down. Rebound by Mound Westonka. Nice pass up ahead. Stolen away by Allie Coughlin, but
Steps right on the line.
foot on the line. That's a bummer. She hustles all the way down there to make a play, gets the steal, but momentum takes her all the way to the baseline, and so that will go back to Mound Westonka.
We saw Sydney Liebel step up, take that 3-point. Sydney Liebel's one of those players, if she gets in a rhythm, she can knock down shots. It's just a matter of getting that first one to go. Once she does that, she'll get some confidence, and we'll expect to see her knock down some shots.
Yeah, she has a nice-looking jumper. A 3 on the way is no good. Recovered by the Red Knights. Gretchen Sattler pushing the ball up the floor all the way to the basket and scores it. Gretchen Sattler, nice drive. She took it coast to coast. Nobody stopped her, and she gets a layup. That drives a coach crazy when you allow that.
As a coach, you prepare for that. When you have a person driving to the lane, defensively, you got to help out, step up, stop that ball.
Players on defense sometimes get so worried about covering their assignment that they lose sight of the ball, and by the time they realize Sattler was right by the basket, nobody could get over in time for help defense, and they give up a layup. This one's stolen by Azaria Jackson-Sherrod. And in the early going, just like Coach Lyons was hoping for, they've been able to get some steals that have led to some easy points. Azaria gets inside. The shot rims out, recovered by Mound Westonka. And checking into the game for the Red Knights was number 12, Brooks Stanley. She replaces Sydney Liebel, getting a quick breather in the early going of this game. Mound Westonka, they need to be able to get something going offensively. Almost turns it over again. Now the shot is up and rolls out. Claire White had an open look. It was straight on, but not perfect. Gretchen Sattler gets inside, nice move. The layup is short, but that's kind of her strength right there. Getting into the lane, creating something. If she doesn't score it, a lot of times she finds an open teammate down there as well.
Yeah, for the Hawks, Haley Martin's doing a great job defensively and offensively. You can kind of tell she's the senior leader on this team, and they're kind of running the game through here, getting back on defense, helping control the ball on the offensive end.
And now the Red Knights swinging the ball around the perimeter. I love, if you watch any possession in the half court of the Red Knights, there are so many passes. In practice, coaches a lot of times will put a limit where you can't shoot the ball until you pass it at least 3-4 times. Well, these girls, a lot of times, you'll see them make 6, 7, 8 passes before a shot goes up. That is great coaching by Bob Lyons and his staff to ingrain that into their players. You don't see them just dribbling around out of control. They move the ball, they pass the ball, and then they find the open girl for a shot.
Yeah, and they were passing the ball well. It's those nice, crisp passes. Like you said, you practice that in, right after school, day after day. You practice those all the time. So you got to make those passes count. The Hawks tonight are having some difficulty with their passes. They have some lob passes that have been turned over, some bounce passes that haven't been on the mark. It's just a matter of in practice, working on those skills.
Here's Sattler going coast to coast, all the way down. 34, Haley Martin attempted to get over, but she didn't slide her feet enough to get all the way in front and prevent Sattler from going right by her. She was trying to get in position to take a charge, but Sattler able to avoid the contact and score it. Claire White at the line makes her first free throw. She's got both of their points and now has 3. The only player so far for the Whitehawks to score. This game is 6-3 right now with under 12 minutes to play in the first half. And Sattler getting the offense started, finds Sydney Liebel, open 3 on the way. No good, but follows her shot, unable to get the offensive rebound, and now the Whitehawks are moving the ball down the court quickly. 3 on the way, no good. Tipped out and recovered by the Whitehawks. And the threes, I thought that was a travel. It looked like she shifted her
travel
feet
as well.
The referee was right next to her, didn't see the same that we saw, but either way, the Red Knights go right down and Sydney Liebel scores. Nice move to get that ball inside.
Good job with the Red Knights pushing the pace right there, not letting the Hawks get set up on defense. It's going straight for the hoop.
Stolen by Abby Wilgers. all the way to the basket. Nice spin move. The layup rolls out, but great move by Abby Wilgers. And now they call a foul on Schluter. A little contact as she went for the rebound. That's her first personal foul. And we have a Mound Westonka 30-second timeout. Right now the coach has to be telling them, just calm down. You're making careless turnovers. A lot of that is due to the pressure from the Red Knights. Sydney Liebo's 2-point shot there. Nice job getting into the lane. Nobody cut her off, and she was strong. She kind of went through a couple arms of the defender and able to score that right at the basket.
Yeah, again, Sydney Liebo's one of those players you don't want her to get warmed up if you're on the opposing team. And when you give her confident shots like that, that's exactly what's going to happen. She's going to feel free to go towards the rim, take those shots out beyond the perimeter as well.
Right now, you're seeing the Red Knights get a lot of high percentage shots inside the lane. And if you're a coach for Mound Westonka, you've got to be telling your girls, you know, if they start knocking down threes, which the Red Knights have players capable of doing that, but you'd rather have them shooting contested threes as opposed to getting open looks inside. If that means you got to help inside a little more, then so be it. But right now they're getting way too many good looks. Three-pointer on the way, rims out again. Corey Anderson took that shot, was halfway down but comes out. And now the Red Knights looking to increase that lead. Sadler gets inside of contact, no call. And now they call the foul on Brooke Stanley on the arm. They kind of let some contact go on Sadler's drive. It looked like she was bumped as she was going to shoot that. You can see on the replay here again, she gets inside. Now she goes up for the shot. The defender for the Whitehawks did a nice job just getting her arms straight up, not swinging for a block, and that's why they let that little bump go. Good call by the officials. I like it when they don't call the tacky, every little bump here and there, and they just let the girls play a little bit.
Red Knights doing a little full court pressure here, trying to get a quick turnover.
See if they can speed up the Whitehawks and make them uncomfortable. Whitehawks turn the ball over again. Sattler leading the charge, goes all the way to the basket, and it rolls out. But Sydney Liebo with the offensive rebound puts it up. No good. Abby Wilgers with an offensive rebound, and they call a jump ball. Abby Wilgers was hoping for a foul call on that. She had some girls hanging on her.
Abby was getting that ball, and nobody else was going to take it from her. You saw her get that ball and spin out of there.
She's a tough player. And now we have Azaria Jackson-Sherrod checking back in for the Red Knights. Abby Wilgers will get a quick breather. Three is good by Sydney Liebo.
There's that nice stroke by Sydney Liebo.
Great looking shot. Nice follow through. And now the officials called traveling on Nikki Warham. Ball was on the ground. She got it when she rolled over. They called traveling. Swings it out to Sydney. Wide open. That's way too much space. You've got to be able to close out on shooters like that. Sydney Liebo, Gretchen Sattler, Azaria Jackson-Sherrod. If you give them that much space, they are going to knock down a high percentage of those three-pointers. Allie Coughlin shoots a rare shot by Allie Coughlin. A little long, and now they have another jump ball as Sattler goes in for the offensive rebound. Possession arrow says it'll be Whitehawks basketball.
Gretchen Sattler getting scrappy in there as well. Wanted that rebound. That last possession, she was able to help out on defense and force that turnover.
Brooke Stanley gets the steal, but then crosses the half-court line for the over and back call.
It's one of those get the steal right there on the middle of the there it is in the middle of the court. I don't know though.
It was tough for Brooke to realize where she was on the floor because all she was doing was playing defense, and she tried to pivot to avoid pressure. Being so close to the half-court line, ends up crossing.
These Red Knights being tenacious on defense right now.
So far, Mound Westonka unable to score a field goal. All three of their points have come from the free throw line. If they can get one to go, just for a confidence standpoint, would be huge for this group right now. Because they played a lot of minutes of basketball already without seeing the basketball go through the rim. And they call another timeout. Right now, offensively, they haven't had good luck getting anything going towards the basket. Benilde-St. Margaret's is a very aggressive defensive team. They're well coached and they're able to inflict their will on the Whitehawks so far.
Yeah, the Red Knights with their, just right on the ball on defense. The only shots the Whitehawks are getting off tonight are deep shots beyond the perimeter. The Red Knights just are not letting them drive to the hole, are not giving them any easy looks. They're just playing such tough defense. The Hawks are having a hard time just passing the ball around to each other.
And I remember the first game that we announced for this Red Knight team, Coach Lyons said his big point of emphasis with this group all year has been our defense has to fuel our offense. We got to get steals, we got to get turnovers, and we got to get in transition because that's where he feels they're at their best. And we've seen that consistently all night so far for them, getting turnover after turnover. If they were able to convert a few more of those shots, this would be a much bigger lead. They've had a good number already roll around the rim, not fall for them. So in that case, the Whitehawks are kind of lucky that it's only 11-3 at this point and not a much greater advantage for the Red Knights.
Yeah, the Red Knights have kind of started off the game a little cold. They missed several three-point shot attempts and have had several rim out.
Nice aggressive move by Claire White. Gives a pump fake, even a little Euro step when she got inside the lane. Got called for the foul as she was shooting, so she'll get 2 free throw attempts.
Nice job of driving to the lane. That's one of the rare times so far this game that we've seen the Whitehawks drive the lane and attempt that shot there.
Claire White so far has been the only Whitehawk to score and to get some success going inside against this Red Knight team, where then she gets an opportunity to get a foul called. If all the passes have just been around the perimeter, nobody's been able to get inside, and it doesn't put a lot of pressure on the Red Knights. But Claire White hits both free throws and has all 5 points. She's done a nice job of that so far.
Yeah, this Whitehawk team being a young team, Claire White only a sophomore. They have a future to build with the 8th graders and freshmen as well out on the court here.
It's only a 6-point game. The Red Knights not with a great shooting percentage so far. They've had good looks and have gotten offensive rebounds, unable to convert. They can allow this Mound Westonka team to hang around. All that would take is a couple of shots for them to go, and all of a sudden you give confidence to a team that in the early going here looks very unsure of themselves, and it can be a whole different game.
Red Knights with 6 team fouls currently.
So the next one will put every foul attempt will send a Whitehawk to the line with free throws, and there's still 8 minutes to go in this first half. If they just look to be aggressive and continue to attack, they call a traveling call on Haley Martin. Slid her pivot foot as she attacked. If they put some pressure on the Red Knights, they can be rewarded at the free throw line, and that can be a great way for them to get back into this game. Allie Coughlin getting it started. Now Sydney Lebo looking to pass, swings it to the top to Schluter. Great cut to the basket by Brooke Stanley. Well covered by Mound Westonka, and Sydney Lebo drives aggressively inside. No foul call. Rebounded by the Whitehawks.
Yeah, Sydney had the option right there. She could have kicked that ball out, but she decided to try to go up for the shot, maybe draw a foul, and no call.
I think it's starting to be a little frustrating for the Red Knights to not see more of their shots go down for them and starting to press a little bit. You can see the Red Knights so far look like they have a clear speed advantage, but a nice drive inside. No good offensive rebound and scored by Haley Martin. They finally got a drive to the basket. Didn't make the first shot, but the height of Martin able to secure an offensive rebound and an easy score. It's 11-7.
The Whitehawks making a little run here, a little comeback travel call on Allie Coughlin. Looked like she stopped and jumped a little bit there.
She started to do a jump stop, but when both feet didn't go down at the same time, they called traveling. You see a nice drive. She gets a wide open layup, doesn't go, but Martin right there to clean it up and score. Easy 2 points. That's what they need to do, and now you're seeing the full court pressure from the Red Knights, trying to make them uncomfortable and see if they can get some easy turnovers. Jackson Schrod almost gets one. It was tipped, so it's not an over and back. Shuffle their feet. but no call. Drives inside, and there's a traveling call. When Abby Wilgers came over to help, she tried to stop her momentum, and both feet ended up moving. Possession goes to the Red Knights.
And that's what Abby, like we said earlier, that's what Abby Wilgers does. She does all those little things that you need on your team in order to win games. She is making hustle plays. She's helping out on defense. She is rebounding, just being scrappy.
Brooke Stanley's shot is no good. Offensive rebound by Sattler, and a wide open putback, misses it. And she gets the steal. Nice veteran move by Sattler, unable to finish. Again, another great look, and you can see Mound Westonka is about to substitute 5 girls. Kind of like the platoon situation going on in Kentucky. They got their white platoon, their blue platoon. So this is the white and red platoon, I guess, for the Whitehawks. Jackson Sherrod gets the steal, pushing the ball up the floor, kicks out to Coughlin, gives it right back. Nice pass inside and scored.
Beautiful pass, nice shot by AJ.
All set up by Allie Coughlin, being very unselfish, looking to get a teammate open, and they get the 2 points.
Gretchen Sattler getting a hand on that basketball. We've seen her do that time in and time out, where she's just on defense. Such great anticipation. Here's the little replay, that nice pass by Allie Coughlin to Azaria Jackson-Sherrod for the easy finish.
She went up straight with that basketball on that shot attempt, even though the taller Martin was right in her face. That's not easy to finish with 2 arms right in front of you. Scores a great backdoor
nice
cut
pass.
and feed. Scored by Abby Warham. She's a freshman. Great pass. And they've got some more life. Stolen. Ball's on the floor, and it was recovered by the Whitehawks, but because number 15, Lauren Lockenmeyer, was on the ground, it goes to the Red Knights. Watch this backdoor cut at the last second here. Catches Azaria Jackson-Rod being over-aggressive and scores a great play.
Yeah, that may be one of the things the Whitehawks coach was maybe called a couple timeouts and said they're playing really aggressive defense to see if we can maybe get some backdoor cuts. And so far, we've seen a couple of drives to the lane and to the hoop.
And that is the risk you take when you play over-aggressive defense, trying to get steals, is if teams begin to back cut like that, that may force the Red Knights to change their defense philosophy a little bit if they keep getting beat on that. You can see these girls are making an effort on that. Anytime the ball swings out to the wing, they're looking to cut back door. They're doing a motion offense right now, just swinging and cutting. Shot on the way. This one's long. And they call a foul against Mound Westonka on the rebound. Allie Coughlin came down with it and was bumped by number 40, Mila Thurston.
I like the move that the Whitehawks coach Ray Finley just made with the whole bench substitution. As you know, playing defense is extremely tiring, and the Red Knights they have a short bench, and I believe the coach over here knows that. So he's kind of taking advantage, giving his starters a little breather right here, and just making the girls here work extra hard.
That's a great point. His game plan coming in this might be to outrun the Red Knights, and they get a big bucket. They hit a 3.
Freshman Mackenzie Anderson.
That's a huge shot for a freshman to come in and knock down, and all of a sudden it's a 1-point game. This second group has come in and it's thrown off. I think exactly what you said. They've got fresh legs, 5 new faces coming into the game, and it really caught the Red Knights off guard. And all of a sudden they went from being up 11-3 at one point to only up 13-12. A nice run by the Whitehawks, and a lot of these girls are underclassmen. We just saw Mackenzie Anderson knock down 3. She's a freshman. We saw the great backdoor cut and finish by, let's see, who was it that scored that? That would have been Abby Warham. She's also a freshman, doing a nice job. And I think you're exactly right. If you scout the Red Knights, you know a lot of times they only play about 7 girls a night. And so if you can keep your girls fresh, substituting often, and just tell them, run, run, run. We'll get you a breather in a couple minutes when you're exhausted, and we'll just keep doing that throughout the night. That seemed to work. And they looks like they subbed their first group, a lot of those girls, back into the game. But I liked what that last group did for the Whitehawks.
Came out, add a little spark to the game, got them within 1. And you can see the Red Knights, their little frustration, you know, they've been able, really strong on defense. They've tipped a couple of balls, but they just, you know, haven't got those turnover possessions. Their shots just haven't been you know, getting to the bottom of the net here. So just a little bit of frustration for the Red Knights. They're going to have to work through this.
And you can see now the Whitehawks are sinking down low. Abby Wilger's shot is no good. Every time there's a pass, the off defender is sinking into crowd space inside, just like we talked about early on when Sattler was able to get right to the basket and score an easy layup. They were taking that away by sinking in, and right now they are saying, if you beat us by hitting outside jumpers, we can live with that right now. We want to see you knock down a couple in space before we're going to give up another layup. And now they call a foul on Sydney Liebel. She went for the steal, made contact from behind, and now the Whitehawks will head to the free throw line.
We are in bonus
situation. This could tie and potentially take the lead. Claire White at the free throw line. She's 5 for 6 at the line in the first half.
You know, Coach Lyons right over there calling out to the girls to just kind of stay in your element. You know, girls, you girls know what you can do. You know what you're strong at, so just stay in your element, stay calm, work through this little run here.
And we have a tie game, a chance for the Whitehawks to take the lead. Free throw is short, and they call the foul against Mound Westonka on number 34, Haley Martin. That's only their third team foul, so not in bonus. 3:30 to go in the first half. What do you think? Do you think the Red Knights maybe overlooked this team a little bit since they were the much higher seed and the Whitehawks came in with not a great record? Sydney Liebel's shot is no good. Maybe they weren't as focused, and that's why some of these shots aren't going down from that. You normally see these Red Knight players, and it's scored by number 25, Corey Anderson, all the way to the basket, and they take the lead 13-15, their first lead of the night since they got the first free throw when it was 1-0.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Lyons has prepared the girls for this game, but it's one of those things where you have that mindset where, you know what, this team has 5 wins on the season. You know, we're just looking towards that next group, and they could have overlooked them. I don't know.
And they call traveling on Allie Coffin. Look, Coach Ray Finley goes right back to that bench, keeping them rotating. Fresh legs, just like I said, it's basically 2-3 minutes. Go hard, get exhausted. We'll sub you out. We'll put you back in 2 minutes later when these girls go all out.
It's almost like we have hockey lines in here.
Yeah, line change, and a 3 is good by Mackenzie Anderson.
The freshman coming up big with a couple of big three-pointers here tonight.
And now have a 5-point advantage. And you can see a little more urgency with these Red Knight girls now. Gretchen Sattler gets inside. The floater is good. That's a big shot. They needed something to go. Give them a little confidence and see that basketball go through the hoop.
The Whitehawks on that last possession doing a great job of pressuring, full court pressure on defense.
Sattler almost gets the steal, dives to try to save the basketball, but ends up rolling out of bounds. So it'll be Whitehawk basketball, and now they sub again, getting all 5 girls back out. You know, that younger group has come in and knocked down a few shots. I'm surprised he didn't let them play a couple more minutes and see if they could knock down a few more.
Yeah, that group that just came out, they're giving each other high fives over on the bench, spreading out the money.
They're having fun with it. You can see they're very much embracing this role. Come in and we're going to go hard for a few seconds, sometimes minutes, and it's paying off. I like that coaching move by Coach Finley. It's brought new energy, new life, and excitement for his group. And you know, when you come in as the underdog, you might as well try something out of the ordinary.
Nothing to lose. You're the kind of the young team. You got nothing to lose. Just go out there and, you know, play your game, have some fun.
You know, I haven't watched Mound Westonka play this year, you know, but judging by how the first 10 minutes, he really wasn't making a lot of substitutions. This might have just been an in-game trial. Let's put some of these young girls in. We got a lot of girls sitting on our bench. Let's use them. We got a lot of fresh legs. Let them run around. Nice shot fake. Drive inside shot, and they call it charge on Claire White. She attacked the hoop aggressively, and Sattler able to get in front of her.
Gretchen hit the ground pretty hard there. you know, she's not afraid to sacrifice her body. You saw her dive for the when she was reaching for that steal earlier. Saw her get down to the ground.
Sattler, you can see, got her feet set and stood there and took that contact. That's not an easy thing to do because Claire White was coming in full speed, and that doesn't feel good, but a gutsy play by Sattler, and she gets the ball back for her team. Red Knights moving the basketball around, seeing if they can find something inside, but Mound Westonka packing in the lane. And this has given the Red Knights some issues. Allie Coughlin, a three on the way, long, off the glass, rebounded by Sattler, putback is short. Gets another offensive rebound. The Whitehawks cannot allow the Red Knights to get that many offensive rebounds because you give up a shot like that, and Sattler gets another basket, giving her 6 tonight.
On that, 20 seconds left here in the half.
And all of a sudden now, they get a great pass inside. The shot is no good. Good look. You would have liked to see them hold on to that basketball until time expired, but when you have that good of a shot attempt, you got to take it. Sattler's shot is no good. She goes out of bounds, ends up being the first player to touch the basketball after being out of bounds, and the referee said she did not reestablish herself before making contact with the basketball. So the possession goes to the Whitehawks with just under 3 seconds in the first half.
See if they can get a shot off here.
Nice pass down the court, tipped by Abby. But shockingly, we have the Whitehawks from Mound Westonka with a 1-point advantage going into halftime. It's 18-17. I did not anticipate this halftime score.
No, I was not anticipating this as well. I was figuring that the seniors for the Red Knights were going to be able to just kind of go out here and do their thing like they've been doing all season long, the games that we've broadcasted for them. I've noticed, I don't know if they, scout. I'm sure they do. I'm sure the coach was talking to, I noticed Claire White was doing a good job against AJ Azaria Jackson-Sherrod. She has only 2 points tonight. She has gone to the lane. She's a set shooter. She's one of those players that gets any type of separation, she's going to knock down the shot. She has not had an open shot here tonight. And the Red Knights, with their open shots that they've had, they just haven't been able to knock down shots.
And she's normally, Azaria Jackson-Sherrod, she's normally the leading scorer, and we've only even seen her put up a couple shots tonight at all. In the first part of that first half, it seemed like everything was playing exactly how the Red Knights had hoped. They were making Mound Westonka uncomfortable, getting turnovers, getting deflections, getting steals, going in transition. And when they built up that early lead, when they were up 11-3, all their points for the most part were coming just in transition in the lane. And all of a sudden, when Coach Finley made that change where he took all 5 girls out in a way that might have sent a message, it might have lit a fire, it might have given them a break, but all of a sudden the entire momentum, and you could hear it even inside the gym, the crowd got excited, the players gave that little burst, and it really changed this game drastically in an instant when that first group of 5 girls comes out. And we're seeing Gretchen Sattler is having issues with her elbow, I believe, going to have it looked at by the trainer. If she can't go in the second half, that would be a huge loss, but it looks like maybe she just has a cut and she's trying to get it taped up, so hopefully she'll be okay to play.
Yeah, she did take that charge she took. You could hear on the floor, it made a huge, you can hear her elbow hit the ground, it made a huge noise throughout the gym space. But Gretchen's a tough cookie. She'll get up, she'll be back in the game. She won't let a little elbow little elbow owie get her out of the game here.
Oh, no, she's not going to miss unless it's something where she physically couldn't move. She would continue to play in this game. Now, in that first part of this first half, again, you saw a lot of openings inside for the Red Knights to exploit, get in there and get some open looks close to the basket. And when Mound Westonka switched their defense up where they weren't pressing on the perimeter as much, daring the Red Knights to shoot, and packing in the lane, not allowing anything easy, that really threw off the rhythm of the Red Knights. And with their shooting percentage right now being so low, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's not been high. And we're used to watching this Red Knight team consistently knock down. If they got space, they're going to knock it down. And we have not seen that play out in this first half.
Yeah, absolutely. And then with the Whitehawks coach subbing in that younger group of girls out here. You have the freshman that comes out here and knocks out just 2 big 3-point shots to give them a lead, and you can just see the momentum shift. Their defense, they got a little zip in their step on defense. They were full court pressing. They were just making it hard for the Red Knights just to get the ball down to the other side of the floor.
And this is one of those matchups with all the seniors that have played a lot of basketball for Benilde-St. Margaret's, and they've been in playoff situations a lot in the past. This might have been one of those games where they were kind of already looking forward to Saturday's game because they're the 2 seed playing the 7 seed. Mound Westonka does not have a lot of wins on the year, and maybe in each individual player's mind, maybe there was a little lack of concentration and focus before the game, just assuming in a way you could show up and win, and Mound Westonka has really answered. And what the Red Knights need to do to start the second half is go on a run, get that space, and kind of take the wind out of the sails of Mound Westonka. But if they let them hang around and we get down to when there's 5 minutes left in this game, and if it's close either way, we saw that Mound Westonka, when they get a little momentum, they can do some great things. And that's exactly what Coach Lyons does not want to have happen. He doesn't want to see this game come down to the wire when they showed early on they're capable of getting up quickly on this team.
Absolutely. I think Coach Lyons is in the locker room telling the girls, hey, we have to do what we do well. And running the ball for the Red Knights is one of the things they do really well. And as we said earlier, their defense has to set up the offense. So we're going to see them come out, and I believe they're going to be strong on defense. He has those 6-7 girls that have been playing all season long, pretty much, that he has in his rotation. So they're in game shape, and they're at this point of the year. So that they're going to come out here and really push again this first part of the second half, and hopefully for the Red Knights, they're just going to be able to start knocking down some shots. I mean, their shot percentage is just was not great this first half.
We talked to Yanni Powell Jr. on the Red Knight team. She hasn't been in the game yet tonight. She is one of the girls that comes in and provides a spark for this Red Knight team. She talked about how one of their game plan that they've been working on this week was to be able to full court press and try to speed up the tempo of this game and make Mound Westonka uncomfortable and maybe get some unforced turnovers. But with them only using 6-7 girls off their bench, and with the amount of rotating that we're seeing from the Whitehawks, that's going to be very challenging for those girls to be able to keep up that kind of pace for a whole nother half. Yanni Powell also asked us if we could just shout out, say hello to her good friend Kendra Delaney watching this game. She said that would be huge. So Kendra?
Little shout out to you, Kendra Delaney.
Yanni says, what's up? And you should text her later, she said. But we've got about 3.5 minutes before the start of the second half. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back for the second half.
Something's not right.
My first symptoms were
constant tingling in my toes.
my legs, sometimes they'll go numb.
Had double vision.
They said you have multiple sclerosis.
Well, the beginning is the hardest time.
Kind of had to get a grasp on reality.
I had to adapt and change very rapidly.
I had to learn how to drive with my hands. Yeah, that was interesting.
I was a dancer. I don't see walking the way I walk any different than doing a dance. It just looks different. It's a different dance.
You see me have an off day, it doesn't take away from who I am.
A symptom may cause you not to be able to do that anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
But I would exercise every day.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
To make a lot of changes in my life and just adapt to it.
I'm going to acknowledge its presence. I'm not going to discount it, but at the same time, I'm going to try my best to not let it stop me.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
Welcome back to the Haven Center at Benilde-St. Margaret's. We're just about to start the second half. The score is 18-17. The number 7 seed, Mound Westonka, has the advantage over Benilde-St. Margaret's. Do we have upset in the making, Casey?
Well, we'll see. This is, again, crunch time for these seniors on this Red Knights team, and we'll see how they can handle the pressure. I still am predicting a Red Knight win here.
Yeah, I would think that this group, veteran group for the Red Knights, at halftime, took a deep breath and just said, hey, we got to knock down our shots. We're getting good looks. Keep moving the ball. You can see right off the bat, before the ball's even inbounded, Mound Westonka is lining up in it looks to be a 3-2 zone, packing in that lane, daring the Red Knights to shoot.
Gretchen Schattler with her long sleeves on again tonight, covering up that elbow.
That's her comfort zone. Yeah, she seems fine. That's good that she's out there right away, that it was nothing too serious. Allie Coughlin's shot right away, no good. Rebounded by Mound Westonka. And Sattler applying some good aggressive defense on the pressure, almost gets a steal out of it. And now a deep three on the way, short, rebounded by the Red Knights. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. She caught, but she was ready to shoot. Haley Martin with a long three, straight on and miss. Azaria's shot off. Again, that's her money shot right there. She is very consistent from that spot.
That is the first open look I've seen her have all night tonight as well. She's been pressured on defense and had a couple layup opportunities, but that was their really first open look here.
Sydney Lebo gets inside, puts the shot up, no good. Rebounded by Mound Westonka. The bad shooting tonight continues for the Red Knights. One of the things that can help some of these shooters get out of this funk is being aggressive, attacking the lane, get to the free throw line. The shot on the way, no good. Rebounded by Martin, kicks out. But if you can get to the free throw line, at least get some easy shots that way to help you get your rhythm back, because right now they just seem out of sync. Sydney Lebo thought about it, swings it out. Again, this zone defense giving some issues. And Azaria Jackson-Sherrod, this one is good. You can't leave her open. She will knock that shot down tonight.
And she is one of those shooters, she's not afraid to, if at first you don't succeed, I'm gonna try again.
Yeah, if she misses 3 in a row, that's not gonna shake her confidence. If she's open like that, she's gonna shoot that ball every time. And she will, over time, make a high percentage of those shots. That's her game. Another deep three on the way. This one is long. Bounced around, rebounded by Abby Wilgers.
Coach must have gave Haley Martin a green light for the second half here.
Azaria Jackson-Sherrod misses this one. Rebounded and a foul called. I believe they're gonna call this one on Abby Wilgers, and they do. After the rebound, reaching in, trying to get a steal. Yeah, that's surprising to me, because they really started to have some success in that first half when they were getting to the hoop. Right here, you can watch Azaria Jackson-Sherrod spotting up, getting to her favorite spot on the floor, so she's ready to just catch and shoot. That's usually automatic. Sattler with the steal, going all the way to the basket. The shot is no good, but she gets the foul call, and now we'll get 2 free throws at the line. Pushing the ball inside, splits 2 defenders and gets the shot up.
Hey, you wonder how her elbow is affecting her right now.
This would be a big confidence booster for her if she can knock these down. The first one is good. And now we're seeing Coach Finley go to his bench. All 5 girls check out, seeing if he can get that same spark he did in the first half.
And they're gonna try to keep a jersey on that number 31, Mackenzie Anderson, who knocked down those 3-pointers.
And the second free throw is good. Yes, if she knocks another one down here, he's got to leave her in the game for more than 30 seconds because she's been lights out. Nice pass inside for the cutting Whitehawk, but turns it over. Sattler with another steal, gets it ahead to Coughlin. Nice pass to Abby Wilgers. Shot is no good. Another one in and out, and she gets another foul call. After the rebound, she's an aggressive player, trying to make a play after the shot. Frustrated she didn't get the shot to go and ends up picking up another foul. That is her third personal foul, and now that's going to limit her a little bit in how many minutes she can play in the second half, not wanting to get her that 4th foul. With 15 minutes to go in the game, she's going to have to sit for a little bit. And Brooke Stanley comes into the game. They call a carry on Mound Westonka, so it'll be Red Knight basketball. that could impact this game greatly without Wilgers in the lineup.
Yeah, she's one of those players that does all those little things that you need done. She did a great job in that first half. I noticed one of the Red Knights' last possessions, I believe Gretchen Sattler was driving to the lane. She just did a good job of setting a screen for Gretchen to drive to the lane and just make a really easy layup.
Jump ball is called. That'll be Red Knight basketball. And now the other issue without Abby Wilgers in there, she is a true forward. Sydney Liebel with the steal. Nice play. And there's a hand check foul called against Mound Westonka. But when you don't have Abby Wilgers in there, she's the girl that consistently posts up inside. Now we saw Azaria Jackson-Sherrod going inside. You see Sydney Liebel posting up inside, and they are two of the shooters for this Red Knight team. You don't want them to have to spend a good chunk of this time just sitting in the lane when Sydney has shown even in this game that she is very capable of knocking down threes.
Sydney is also able to work in that that center position, able to make some moves and get to the basket and make layups.
And Coach Finley goes back to his starting group for the second half, giving them that quick breather, trying to keep them as fresh as possible. Nice pass to Azaria Jackson-Sherrod. Misses the layup. But Allie Coughlin almost gets a steal. That'll head back down this way.
Yeah, you saw Azaria Jackson-Sherrod get that ball. She got a little too deep under the rim. She wasn't able to convert those 2 points.
How many of those have we seen so far?
There's been several tonight, just off the mark.
And the inbound pass goes off the backboard, and the possession will go back to the Red Knights, but the refs are discussing it.
And they agreed. It stays here.
And it'll be with the Red Knights now. That kills you when you see that. Just a careless turnover. Shot by Coughlin, no good. Rebounded by the Whitehawks.
They're going to let Allie Coughlin shoot the ball out there. No one stepped up to contest her shot.
They're giving her a lot of space. Claire White drives inside, now is trapped, swings it out. Martin thought about three, and now a three on the way. Good for number 25, Corey Anderson. She's got 5 tonight, and we got a tie game, 21-21 with 14 minutes to go. Allie Coughlin gets inside, shot is no good. This is Allie Coughlin. We don't see her shoot this often usually. I like that she's being aggressive. I just wish some of those would go for her. Poked away by Brooke Stanley. Azaria Jackson-Sherrod now driving down, gets the shot up, no good.
Draws the foul.
She'll get 2 free throw attempts.
Yep. Yeah, typically the games we've seen, Allie Coughlin's just done a great job of distributing the ball. She's never looking to shoot. Tonight here, she's been left open, so she's been taking those shots, just haven't knocked any down.
You're exactly right when you said that. They probably scouted that and they saw, okay, Coughlin doesn't like to shoot. Well, let's give her some space and see if she gets going. That's where, again, if she knocks some of those down, that could make a huge impact on the game. This three by Anderson got way too much space, able to catch, set, and shoot. It was perfect. Azaria Jackson-Sherrod hits a pair. And now this full court press, trying to get some steals for the Red Knights or some easy turnovers. They get it past half court, they break the pressure. And now another three on the way. This one is long, misses everything. And they say last touch by Sattler before it went out of bounds.
Sattler hustling over there for that rebound.
I don't know if I agree with this call. Let's see on the replay. I thought 25 came in and poked it away, but it looked like Sattler maybe had the last touch on there. And Allie Coughlin accidentally trips number 10 for the Whitehawks, Ryan Byer. Not intentional, accidental, just trying to chase down that ball.
Yeah, just
one of
those accidental fouls that you don't mean to do it, but just in the wrong place here.
Yeah, absolutely was not intentional. Just trying to make a play. Now Westonka, are they going to be able to continue scoring on this Red Knight team? Almost stolen by Azaria Jackson-Sherrod. Pass inside, nice backdoor cut. Layup is no good. Rebounded by Brooke Stanley. Allie Coughlin again, nobody closing out. It goes right to the basket, comes up short. She did the right thing there. Nobody. They left the entire left side of the lane open for her to go. She made the right decision. Watch, if you see here, the two defenders, one on the elbow, one on the baseline. just saying, go ahead, shoot it. I really wish she would have got them to go just so that they have to account for her. She'll get one of them, and then it'll change what they're doing defensively.
Yeah, I don't know. The left side just is a struggle for the Red Knights here tonight. Every open layup they've had on the left side, nothing's gone down for them.
And we have the 5-player switch. Typically, this has only been lasting 30 seconds. Oh, double dribble called. 32, Abby Warham is in disbelief by the call. Let's see how long he leaves this 5 in the game. Last time it was about 30 seconds. Now let's see if they get a little bit of longer breather. Almost stolen. Abby Wilgers checks back in the game. She's got to be careful with 3 fouls. Allie Coughlin drives and gets fouled. Let's see if they call it shooting or if it was on the ground. I believe he pointed to the ground saying that this would just be out of bounds Red Knights.
Okay, yeah.
And here comes the 5. So yeah, he's limiting these, you know, chances for these younger girls for only a few seconds, but it's worked.
It's worked, yeah. The Whitehawks still, with the score 23-21, they're still right in this game.
This area, they don't close out, and she knocks down another one. She is absolutely the girl that the Whitehawks cannot just give that much room to shoot. Almost stolen away by Abby. She's got to be careful. Getting close to the other player. And they're going back and forth a little bit inside, playing physical.
They're taking it right at Abby Wilkers here.
Nice pass inside, shot on the way, blocked by Sattler.
Big block by Gretchen Sattler.
Get out of here.
Not in my house.
But that ball will stay with the Whitehawks. Zaria Jackson-Sherrod with her back to the inbounder. I want to see her just throw that ball off her, you know? You saw,
just throw it off, but not paying attention.
You know, see if you can grab it and shoot a layup quick. You don't see that very often because it's a little risky, but it is sweet. Now Martin getting inside. Nice move on Abby Wilgers. Scores on the left side. Haley Martin. That's her 4th point tonight.
Abby Wilgers doing a good job not making that foul right there.
Coughlin another shot short. And the foul is called.
Coughlin kind of came down after her shot, landed a little weird on her foot. She's kind of shaking off her ankle here.
She goes right at Abby Wilgers and scores on the left side. Nice play. Coughlin with another shot attempt off, rebounded by the Whitehawks. Now Martin picks up her dribble. She could have kept going. 3-pointer on the way. Got it! Ryan Byer, the sophomore, stepping up, giving the lead back to the Whitehawks. Like we talked about at halftime, Coach Lyons does not want this to come down to the last couple minutes. Right now, these girls for Mound Westonka are playing with confidence.
Absolutely. Ryan Byer over here on this last possession, she was squared up right away. You knew as soon as she got that ball, she was going to take that shot.
Azaria, another long jumper, pure, giving her 10. Nice answer by Azaria. Pass up ahead, breaking the full court pressure. And now Martin gets it out to the wing. Nice shot fake, getting inside, shot on the way. Rolls around, no good, rebounded by Wilgers. I wonder how long Coach Finley will wait before he gets the other 5 girls back in for another chance to give these girls a breather. Coughlin getting inside, another shot attempt, no good. Wilgers rebounded. Brooke Stanley, a shot attempt off to the right. You can see the Red Knights are pressing on offense. They're not doing their normal swinging it around and taking their time. Now this pass stolen by Azaria. Nice pass to Sattler, scores it on the left side.
Nice play there by Azaria Jackson-Sherrod.
An unselfish play, getting her teammate open. Smart decision. You're seeing how this all started. A bad pass, trying to save it, ends up turning it over. And Azaria making a great one-handed pass, picks it up.
Bring it
like
to
a
that
baseball throw.
Bring it to that left side. I got a little nervous there for a minute, but
Sattler able to get on the go. She had a little space. It wasn't as contested, able to knock that one down. I'm impressed by Azaria. She just kind of held that ball up for a split second, palmed it in a way, and just flipped it out to the left. Nice move.
Very athletic play there.
So again, you're seeing in the half-court set, and the games that we've announced this year for the Red Knights, a lot of passing. And when you get looks like this, where Azaria Jackson-Sherrod eventually catches it with some space, knocking it down, that's the Red Knights' half-court offense. But tonight you're seeing, again, they're daring Allie Coughlin to shoot, but they're also, we just saw Brooke Stanley give some open space. Even Sydney Liebel and Gretchen have had open looks, but tonight they are not shooting like they normally do, and the three-point shots have been working for Mound Westonka, really keeping them in this game and giving them a chance to pull off an upset. Still 10 minutes to go. It's a three-point game. Anything can happen, and you're seeing the Red Knights picking up full court.
Yeah, the Whitehawks just sticking around, kind of be that thorn in your side.
Sadler gets the steal and a layup. That's what Coach Lyons wants to see. Defense turned to offense. This is the second group for Mound Westonka that's been very good tonight. Good pass, nice backdoor cut. Good recovery by Brooke Stanley, and Abby Wilgers comes in with the steal.
Gretchen looking up court, was trying to get that ball to Sydney Liebel. She was kind of streaking on the outside there.
Shot by Sattler, no good. Rebounded by the Whitehawks. Coach Finley, I'm sure, is just waiting for the next dead ball to get the other girls back in. Nice drive inside, floater on the way, no good, but rebounded inside, kicked out and stolen by Sydney. Liebel gets ahead to Brooke Stanley, goes all the way to the basket, and they call the offensive foul on Brooke Stanley. I did not think that the Mound Westonka player was set. Let's watch the replay. She's got to have both feet set for this to be a charge, and she's jumping. That is not a charge.
No, that's that should have been she should have been at the foul line right there.
Coach Lyons needs to be in the ear of the official there, because there's no way that ref saw 2 feet stationary on the ground, and Brooke Stanley didn't lower her shoulder trying to run anybody over. In this replay, Sadler getting the steal and finishing. That's how the Red Knights can blow this game out in a hurry. Getting some steals. Sadler almost getting another one right there on the sideline.
Yeah, Sadler's so quick and pesky on that basketball. We've seen it time in and time out. Just always on the basketball. Always getting a hand on it. Always disrupting.
Shot no good by Martin. Got to the basket, but hitting the lower part of the rim on the layup attempt.
And the Whitehawks here in a zone defense again.
Azaria Jackson-Sherrod knocks down another jumper. She's got 12. Her and Gretchen Sattler each have 12 apiece.
Azaria the second half has just come out here and saying, hey, if I need to put this team on my back, I'm gonna put on the back, because I am not done with my season yet.
Yeah, Sydney Liebel gets inside, no good. Azaria Jackson-Sherrod only had 2 points in the first half, has 10 more to add to that in the second half already, and that's been a big boost for them. Now, right now, they have a 7-point lead with 8 minutes to go. If Mound Westonka continues to just load in the lane, there's no shot clock, obviously. The Red Knights can be as patient as they want to be on the offensive end. They don't need to force anything. Azaria right there, a little contested, gets her offensive rebound, another one, just needs to kick this ball out. Abby Wilgers dives for it. Last touch by Abby Wilgers, so it'll be Mound Westonka ball. And there, I like how Azaria is being aggressive. But on that, after she gets an offensive rebound, if she doesn't have an open look, just kick it out, slow it down, move the ball around, eat some clock, find a better look.
In that possession, yeah, absolutely. All the Whitehawks underneath the hoop. Azaria had several of her teammates just wide open out, on the perimeter.
And Sydney Liebel gets the steal, just picks the pocket. Azaria wide open, this one deep. No good. Abby Wilgers had a chance at it. Ends up checking number 42, Claire White, to the ground, going for the ball.
You tell normally, I think Abby would have been on the ground for that one, but in foul trouble a little bit right now, so just playing a little cautious, not trying to pick up that.
And Sadler gets the steal. Sydney all the way to the basket, scores it with a right hand on the left side. 2 for Sydney Liebel, giving her 9 points tonight.
Another steal by Gretchen Sattler. Should have been keeping track of her steals tonight.
And now Brooke Stanley gets another steal. You're starting to see Mound Westonka start to rush now. Even just trying to get it to their half of the court. struggling to make secure passes, and the Red Knights now are capitalizing on it, which what we thought from the get-go was going to happen, where they get shots like this from Sydney Lebo, steals, defense leading to easy points on the offensive end.
Coach Ray Finley over there looking at his group of girls thinking, it might be time to sub in.
Yeah, they called traveling on Abby Wilger. She tried to pivot, got bumped, slow to get up. She's okay. Hit the ground pretty hard.
Nikki Warham checks in for the Whitehawks.
Full court pressure applied right now by Brooke Stanley. And now trapped by Sydney Liebel. And they call traveling. Accidental collision here. Abby Wilgers is on the ground. She got hit in the eye going for the basketball. If you watch this replay here.
Good trap right here.
Oh, the elbow.
Yeah, elbow came up, swung up, came up pretty high here.
Again, I don't think that was intentional by Haley Martin. She was just trying to square up to the basket. And when she turned, her elbow got a piece of Abby Wilger across the face right there. Maybe it was the second elbow that came through. Yeah, the second elbow ends up hitting her near her nose. That hurts like crazy.
Abby getting attended to here by one of the best in the business, Jackie
Roth. #1 athletic trainer in Minnesota. She's getting up now. I think she's going to be okay. She might have to take a minute or two on the bench to just calm down and let the pain subside a little bit. Yeah, she's getting up on her own. She'll be okay.
Sure, the trainers, took a shot to the head. Sure, the trainers, asking her where you're at.
What gym are you in?
What gym are you in?
What sport are we playing right now?
If she says badminton, that is the wrong answer.
She says badminton, she'll be sent to the locker room. But still talking around the sideline. Hopefully she'll be able to get back in here for the Red Knights. 7 minutes to play. It's a 9-point lead for the Red Knights.
Yeah, Red Knights were getting a couple of steals, a couple turnovers, and some layups. They're able to create a little breathing room here.
And foul called against Mound Westonka. That, I believe, is their 7th team foul. It is. So now Brooke Stanley will be at the free throw line shooting a bonus 1-and-1 situation. And her first free throw attempt is no good. Rebounded by Mound Westonka. Free throws are going to be huge now in the final minutes of this game. All the way to the basket, no good. Rebounded by Martin, fouled on the shot attempt. She'll go to the free throw line for 2. Getting inside, number 31 for Mound Westonka. Nice offensive rebound by Martin. Tried to get that shot up quickly. Got hit on the arm by Azaria Jackson-Sherrod, her second personal.
Martin with the height advantage in that rebound. You could see every Red Knight player was swarming to the hoop to get that rebound, and Martin still able to come up with it.
Came down with it and now gets to go to the line. Gets the second one to go. She has 5 tonight. 6.5 to play. 8-point game right now. Red Knights just looking to be patient. Don't need to force anything right now.
Yeah, the clock is in your favor right now. Just look for a good shot, good open shot.
Allie Coughlin drives and kicks. Gretchen Sadler gets inside, gets fouled on her way to the basket. So she'll get 2 free throws. Right here, takes advantage of the space she got from the Mound Westonka defender. As she's going up, gets hit across the arm in her shot attempt. She gets that call a lot when she's playing because of her aggressiveness.
Yeah, she's so quick. She's so quick off the dribble. She's typically able to get around her defender, and somebody has to step up and help out, or her defender is just kind of a last effort, just trying to get a hand on there and draws the fouls.
Yeah, if she gets that first step, it's very hard for her ball defender to catch up to her. And when anytime that help side defender is slow to rotate over, she's either going to score or get fouled most of the time. That is absolutely her strength, along with defense. Almost gets a steal. She got the ball cleanly but stepped out of bounds when she was trying to pass the basketball to a teammate. Good hustle. Right here, picks this. This is not an easy angle to get that steal without getting called for a foul, which she did nicely.
It was close.
Unfortunate, toe was on the line. Drive inside, foul called. This will send Mound Westonka to the free throw line for a bonus situation. Both teams in bonus, still 6 minutes to play. So opportunities for both teams now, easy shots. Now we have to see which team's gonna capitalize. The first free throw is no good, so the Red Knights get possession and a chance to extend their 10-point advantage. Sattler turns it over, trying to get a baseline pass out to a teammate. Now an open look. Sattler with the steal, just throws it right to her, all the way to the basket, scores it on the left side. Nice play. That gives her 16. Mark Snell, the home announcer, getting into it. He loved that play. Tipped around, controlled by the Whitehawks. Offensively, they're gonna have to get into a groove. Coach Finley has gone away from the 5-person rotation. Foul and the basket.
And the basket.
Gave her the continuation. He thought she was in the act of shooting, so the basket will count for Claire White. And she'll get a free throw attempt.
Yeah, she did a good job dribbling that ball up, kind of straightened up her body there, and then accelerated to the hoop, was able to draw the foul from help out from Allie Coughlin there.
And gets the free throw, and we have a full timeout called by Coach Lyons. It's a 9-point game. We saw this in the first half. He was about to just sub in only 2 girls, not what we've seen tonight where he's taken all 5 girls out of the game. And you can see on our bracket here again, the winner of this game will play the winner between Washburn and Holy Family this Saturday. Whatever the higher seed that moves on will get home court advantage. And then eventually we'll play one of the 4 teams on the upper part of this bracket between Ridgefield, Holy Angels, Blake, and Waconia. Waconia, the 1 seed, the favorite to move on.
Yeah, and Coach Finley, this second half, he hasn't been doing the full substitution. I noticed he's kind of had some of his shooters that came in on those first substitutions, the girls that were knocking down shots. He's had them come in and sub in for them. I'm sure hoping to get an offensive spark, maybe hit some threes again.
On the right side by the ticket table, we have Coach Porsche.
I see Coach Porsche over there.
Head coach for girls track team. Great guy, great coach, a phenomenal science teacher, and a good man. Yeah, you see him, he's in the black jacket talking right underneath the basket there, talking to Jerry Pettinger, the athletic director. Great guy.
Excited for the track and field season to start. He's got big expectations for that group this year.
And you'll be coaching with him?
And I'll be right alongside him.
With the distance runners, your specialty. But we got a good game of basketball to talk about. The last 5 minutes of the game. 9-point advantage, 39-30. The Red Knights in control.
Whitehawks going to a zone defense here again.
They've been doing this most of the night. And it has worked for them, but unfortunately at this point in the game, they can't just rely on playing back in a zone. They're now gonna have to extend that defense. Otherwise, just like we're seeing the Red Knights right now, they're just gonna hold on to the ball.
Yeah, that's the smart way to play it. Just hold on to the ball, get that easy open look.
At some point here, Coach Finley needs to stand up and tell his players to get out and cover. Coughlin right now is doing the right thing. Just hold the ball. There's no reason to do anything else. Now Brooke Stanley driving, kicks out to Sydney Liebel. Coughlin again, just holding on to it. They're not even in distance for a 5-second call. They've got to tighten up that defense, or these last 4 minutes of the game are going to go by in a heartbeat.
Yeah, Coach Lyons, you can see, was telling his girls to step out away from the perimeter. Just pass the ball around, take care of the ball, nice passes. Maybe something easy opens up, then we'll try to attempt something.
Now this possession has lasted over a minute now. And we're still not seeing Mound Westonka. They're starting to creep up a little bit, but they've got to fully commit and force the Red Knights to shoot, or they got to start fouling. One or the other. They can't just let these minutes come off the clock right now.
Yeah, this game's just gonna walk away from them.
And they continue. They're not fouling. If they overextend to the point where they kind of lure the Red Knights into shooting a shot, even that would be beneficial to their cause right now. Azari Jackson-Sherrod gets inside, then kicks out. Coach Lyons, great adjustment. Allie Coughlin puts up a shot, no good. Rebounded by Mound Westonka. You can tell in the last timeout, he just said, just relax. If they're not going to cover you, just let the time go. Drive inside, foul call. This will be bonus free throws.
Even with that last possession, Red Knights did a good job taking a ton of time off the clock. But you can see Coach Lyons, he wanted them to take some more time off the clock. He didn't want them to force that.
Yeah, you can't put up a contested shot. You just got to let that possession continue. And now at the line, Claire White, who's done a nice job at the free throw line tonight. Bonus. The first one is no good. Off the hands of Mound Westonka. So it'll be Red Knight basketball. Coach Finley going to his bench, trying to get fresh legs in there to see if they can get some turnovers, make some plays. Inbound pass to Brooks Stanley, gives it back to Zaria Jackson-Sherrod. Nice dribbling behind the back, between the legs. Nice combination.
Yeah, I've seen Azaria many mornings working on dribbling. She's one of those hard workers that keeps her dribble, goes to the ground, keeps her dribble.
Even while falling over, able to maintain her dribble. But Mound Westonka gets the basketball, trying to get something going. Sadler gets it right back, and they call a foul on 32, Abby Warham. So we're going to get free throws now at the other end. Mound Westonka offensively not in a groove right now. They've not been in that rhythm that we saw at the end of the first half. They kept it close. They're battling tonight. This is not the type of game that most people would have expected when you saw the matchup, the 2 versus the 7. At home for the Red Knights. But a very entertaining game. Both teams going all out.
Yeah, the second half with the Red Knights coming in with a deficit, 1-point deficit. This is kind of what I was expecting to see out of them. These seniors coming together, just starting to knock down their shots, keep playing tough defense. This is what I expect to see out of them the entire game.
3 is good by Haley Martin. That's a big shot. That gets it back to a single-digit deficit. Only 7 points, 2 minutes to go.
Haley Martin not afraid to shoot the ball. When we saw her come out the start of the second half, and she was shooting from way beyond the perimeter. There she is again, right way out there.
Sydney Liebel didn't get a hand up, allowed her to just catch and hold on to it and square up the basket and shoot. She's got to put a hand up. I know they have a comfortable lead, but now I would expect the Whitehawks to begin to foul. With 2 minutes left, in the way that the Red Knights are controlling the basketball, I don't think they're just going to allow them to control the ball like that. They're going to have to come out and foul and see if they can have the Red Knights miss some free throws. If you're the Red Knights, hopefully, it seems like a lot of teams will experience a night where their typical shots that they knock down don't fall. Hopefully for them, this will be that only game where they experience this kind of drought that we don't see from most players. Sydney Liebel still has 9 points. Azaria Jackson-Sherrod has 12. And Gretchen Sattler has 17. So those are the 3 leading scorers from the girls that you expect to get the majority of the points. But they're very capable of shooting better than what we saw tonight, and hopefully that will come up if they're able to advance to the next round.
I don't get that right there. We want to
typically
take time off the clock right now, not keep it.
Typically the team that's down will do that to conserve a couple seconds, not the team that's leading.
Yeah, with 2 minutes left, down 6 points. I mean, that's still plenty of game to
Weston.
They have a comeback here.
And they foul. This will be double bonus now. I believe that's the 10th foul on the Whitehawks. So they'll get 2 free throws. Brooke Stanley. Whitehawks hoping for a couple of these to not fall to give them a chance. She gets the friendly roll on the first free throw. Brooke Stanley, that's her first point tonight. And now the second free throw is good. Trying to put this game out of reach for the Whitehawks. Got a 9-point lead.
Say Coach Finley brings out his Haley Martin, his 3-point shooter. Has her sub out just for a second, maybe get a breather. I don't know. I don't get why he brought her out.
She has, I believe she has 4 fouls, so trying to do the offense, defense, so some other girl can foul Red Knight and then give her an opportunity on the offensive end. That's why he's trying to check her back in. Because, yeah, that's definitely a player they need to have on the floor for rebounding and scoring. They've got to foul. A lot of seconds coming off the clock right now. Red Knights swinging the ball around, not allowing them to get an easy foul. They're continuing to let this clock run down. Ball's deflected, last touch by Mound Westonka. So it'll stay Red Knight basketball. One minute and 16 seconds to go. I don't know if there's going to be enough time left now. They foul here, but if the Red Knights are able to knock down a couple of these free throws, I think this game's going to be out of reach.
Yeah, I agree with that. They just let way too much time expire on the clock here. I didn't get why they weren't trying to foul sooner.
The possession when there was still 4.5 minutes in the game, and the Red Knights were able to run it down to, I believe it was under 3 by the time they finally put a shot up, was critical in this game now, because now with them attempting to foul and really pressuring the Red Knights, it's just going to be too little too late. Free throw no good.
Both shots miss.
Exactly what they were hoping for. Nice move to get inside. Floater on the way is no good, but fouled. She will head to the line. Number 31, that is Mackenzie Anderson. She is only a freshman.
Yeah, she's had some good moments here tonight.
Yeah, we've seen some young players for this Mound Westonka team do a very nice job tonight, gaining some experience. Obviously, they're hoping going forward in the future they'll be able to build off of that. It is tough when you're relying on sophomores and freshmen, and we even see some 8th graders on the team to try to match up with this very veteran team of the Red Knights. It's a tough task, and they've done a nice job tonight. Second free throw was good. And now 1 minute left in the game.
Again, the Whitehawks just playing clean, not looking to foul here. Just trying to play some defense.
And they called a hand check on Mackenzie Anderson. Brooke Stanley will go to the line for 2 more.
I think they're looking to foul the right player here.
Yeah, I don't know if their coach told them in the timeout to wait for certain players to get control of the ball before we foul, but when you're down this many points, it's all about saving as much time as possible so that you give your team a chance with a couple buckets to get back into it. Both free throws miss, but rebounded by Azaria Jackson-Stroud. That's a huge rebound because it allows them to kill more time and potentially get more free throw attempts. Brooke Stanley almost turned it over, but did a nice job of keeping her balance so she didn't get called for the travel. And now Sydney Lebo is fouled and will head to the line, fouled by number 25, Corey Anderson, a senior for the Whitehawks. 32 seconds to play. Sydney Lebo at the line, trying to close this out. First free throw, got it.
And that's Sydney's 10th point for tonight.
And gets the second.
Good shooting form there.
10-point game.
30 seconds.
Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Red Knights. It'll stay on this end. the coach and fans, even though this will probably end in a not desired result for Mound Westonka, they need to be proud of their girls. Early on, it looked like this was going to be a blowout. The game wasn't even going to be close. All the way comes back to where they have the advantage going into halftime. And even for the first 8 minutes of the second half, it was a tight game. It was going back and forth. Benilde-St. Margaret's got the lead, but it wasn't that they ever were in complete control until these last 4 or 5 minutes when the Red Knights finally decided to just slow it down and let the minutes go by was when it got out of reach. But great effort by the Whitehawks tonight.
Yeah, Whitehawks did a good job with this game tonight. The Red Knights just could not get in a rhythm. You saw their shooting just kind of struggled all night. It's one of those deals where the Red Knights, their defense turned into their offense tonight, and that really happened. You saw that when they started to pull away. It's because they're getting a couple steals and able to get to the basket and finish with some easy layups. So that's really when they started to pull away this second half, and just doing a good job of controlling the ball now that they've had with pretty much 5 minutes left in the game. They just did a good job passing the ball around, just managing the clock well tonight.
And just like you said earlier, Azaria Jackson-Sherrod has 10 points in the second half alone. She only had 2 in the first half. She didn't put up a lot of shots. In this second half, when they gave her space, she came out firing, knocked down a lot of them, and that was a very big part of the second half, going along with the great defense by the Red Knights that ended up leading to this victory. So with 10 seconds to go, the Red Knights will move on to the sectional semifinals, where they will play the winner between Washburn and Holy Family. The final score of tonight's game is 44-34. It was a very entertaining, exciting game to watch. Was a little slow at the beginning when Benilde-St. Margaret's got a lead, weren't hitting a lot of their shots though, allowed Westonka to stay within reach. All of a sudden they go on a run, leads to a tight game, fought all the way to the end, and the veteran plays of the Red Knights down the stretch were enough to lead them to victory, and some nice coaching adjustments by Coach Lyons.
Absolutely. Got to give a shout out to Gretchen Sadler. She did a great job this game. Kind of did all those things for the Red Knights, played defense. As we see, she was the leading scorer for the Red Knights tonight. Just able to be scrappy. She first half fell on the floor, kind of got hurt, but she's one of those tough cookies, gets out there, athletic kid, and does what she needs to do for her team in order to advance.
Yeah, you saw the scoring tonight. Pretty typical for this team. Gretchen Sadler led all scorers. She had 17. Sydney Liebel had 11, and Azaria Jackson-Sherrod had 12. Abby Wilgers had 2, and so did Brooke Stanley. That will wrap up the scoring for them. Again, the final score tonight is 44-34. Benilde-St. Margaret's will advance to the second round. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We had a great time calling this game. I'm Joe Spertoli alongside Casey Hansen.
Hey, and Cassie, I will definitely see you when I get home tonight.
Thank you for watching. Have a good night.